Islamic at all. So I want to talk about how we can kind of alleviate these pressures, how we can kind of stay away from the haram while kind of maintaining ourselves in society as well. If you look at the seerah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the first part of his prophethood was spent in Mecca, and Mecca was a non-Muslim society at the time. It wasn't until Medina, until he made the hijrah to Medina, that we saw like a full Islamic society. So if we look at the behavior of the Prophet ﷺ, who's a guide to all of us, and whose model we should be modeling ourselves after, we can get some very valuable and some very good lessons out of it. So to begin, inshallah, let's just look at the Prophet ﷺ before he became a prophet, before Jibreel ﷺ came to him and revealed the first ayats of the Quran. The Prophet ﷺ was a very popular guy in Mecca, you would say. I guess you would say like he was the man in Mecca. He was known, we all know about his character before he became a prophet, and how much the Quraysh used to love him, and how much they used to respect him. The same people who later on turned against him, and they loved him, they couldn't get enough of him. We know they used to call him Al-Amin, the trustworthy. When he married Khadija radiallahu anha, she was also, I guess, kind of like the most popular woman in Mecca at the time. She was rich, she was wealthy, she had good character, and after she was a widow, I believe the second time, there were a lot of people in Mecca came to propose to her, but she rejected all of them because she wanted to marry the Prophet because she knew about his character. So when they came together, I guess we would call them like a power couple. They were very popular, they were very influential in Mecca. And they lived like this for a short period of time. They lived like this, and they were very popular amongst the Quraysh. Then there was one night in the cave when Jibreel came and revealed the first words of the Quran. Literally the whole world changed, and the life of the Prophet changed. So we all know the story, how he came back scared to Khadija radiallahu anha, and how he was terrified. He didn't know what happened to him. He thought he was going crazy basically. And we all know what Khadija said to him and how she consoled him, and she said, she laid out his characteristics, and she said, Allah would not let someone like this go astray, or she would not let anyone like this go crazy, or it's not a shaitan that came to you. So one of the first things they did was they went to her cousin Waraqa. Waraqa was a scholar. He was a scholar at the time. He was a Christian, and there's also the scholars say that he was the first Sahaba to die because he died just a few days after meeting the Prophet. But one of the things that he said to him that we as youth Christians should take note of was he said, I wish I was just a little bit younger when this happened to you, because to help you against your own people when they turn against you. And the Prophet he was shocked because they happened to him with the people. He was trustworthy, people knew him, people respected him. And he said, my people are going to turn against me. And he's like, even though they consider me one of the best amongst them. And he told him that every single prophet that came, they were considered the best amongst their people. And then when the message came to them, then the people turned against them. So he was already kind of shocked by this kind of prediction that Allah gave him. So, and we all know how the Quran came down the stages and how Allah at first commanded the Prophet ﷺ to preach only, it was kind of like a private da'wah. So he was kind of preaching to his family. Even at this stage, he found extreme difficulty. Especially today, those of us who have like Muslim families, alhamdulillah, we're blessed to have like Muslim families and have supportive families. We all know how important our family is. So imagine if something really, really, really important happened to you and you needed to talk to someone about it. The first people you would go to is your family, of course, the first people you would go to is your family. So imagine going to your family and then your family just starts getting up and insulting you. We know one of the worst enemies of the Prophet was his own uncle, Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab was his dad's brother. If you can even imagine that, his dad's brother. He grew up with his brother, his father. He grew up, he broke bread with his father, he had dinner with his father, and then after the Prophet ﷺ comes and tells him, giving him a sincere warning, he starts calling him crazy, he starts calling him all these harsh insults. It's hard to even imagine that kind of humiliation if your own uncle is calling you these words. But Prophet ﷺ, he kind of soldiered on. He continued the da'wah. He continued reaching out to the people. He didn't let this get him down. So even in this story, there's a great lesson for us, especially as those of us who go to college or around campus or high schools. We might be tempted into doing things that we don't want to do, but and when we refuse not to do it, people might start looking at you and what is this guy? What is he, a nerd or something like that? Start insulting you and start doing all these things. But if you look at the example of the Prophet ﷺ and how even his own uncle was calling him all these horrible insults, and subhanAllah, I was reading something that the tafsir of Surah Al-Lahab or Surah Al-Kawthar, excuse me, and subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ, he had two sons. The first one was Qasim and radiallahu anhu. And when he passed away, he only had one son left, Abdullah radiallahu anhu. And when Abdullah passed away, of course, imagine your son passing away, any of your children passing away. It's a really, really, really sad situation. And you would even expect your enemies at the time to, I guess, kind of have sympathy with you. Even the worst, even your worst enemy would take a step back and say, well, this guy, his child just passed away. Maybe we can stop being mean to him pretty soon one day and we'll just start it up next week or whatever. But Abu Lahab, when he heard this news, he went out to the streets, celebrating. His own nephew's son passed away, and he's in the streets celebrating. He was saying, Muqtada Muhammad, and Muhammad is cut off. And he was screaming, he was going throughout the streets so happy, celebrating, saying that the name of Muhammad is never going to be mentioned again. He's never going to be mentioned again. So that Allah revealed Surah Al-Kawthar in that situation. And that's why Allah says, Inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. It's your enemy who's going to be the one who's cut off. SubhanAllah. So imagine a situation where you're ridiculed by the people, and the first person who's doing it is your uncle, your own family member, your own flesh and blood. So in our situation, in our state today, alhamdulillah, it doesn't get to that point where, for those of us who are on campus doing da'wah or whatever, it doesn't get to that point where people are just that cruel to you, But subhanAllah, what I see sometimes, amongst the brothers on campus, I go to ASU, so a lot of us are involved in the da'wah on campus. What I see is sometimes, you'll have that one person who comes and is just trying to get a rise out of you and says some pretty harsh things. But subhanAllah, we kind of close out, we kind of shut down, We always say, man, this guy, he doesn't want to listen, all the people here are like that, I don't want to have to deal with them. But if you look at Rasulullah, even though the people were all rebelling against him, even though people were so harsh, Allah still commanded him to go out and preach the message of Islam, because that's how important it was, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Even Allah says, if you go out and warn them, and Allah's talking about the people, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, the people who disbelieve, and these are the people who disbelieve so much that they said even if an angel came down from the sky with a scroll that said Muhammad is the messenger of Allah, they said we still wouldn't believe. It's these people. And Allah